Rodolfo Delgado Ramos has been a wanted fugitive since October of 2006, where police say he killed 2 men in the early morning hours. But over the past 10.5 years, there have been leads, but so far no apprehension of the suspect. And now the U.S. Marshal Service is calling on you to help find this man. October 15th, 2006.
It hasn't been a normal Sunday in Hawarden, Iowa.
Police have focused their investigation on 2 brothers.
I heard 5 quick shots and I thought it was firecrackers.
Shots fired just before 5 a.m. outside this house on Avenue F. 1 injured, 2 dead.
He shot all 3 of them, killing 2, and then took off from Hawarden, wrecking his vehicle just right outside of Hawarden.
If he was, injured, if he was alive, if he was dead, we didn't know.
2 young men killed for being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Police searching for a Rodolfo Delgado Ramos, who they believe is behind this double homicide.
The survivor from the shooting, they all ID'd him as the one that did the shooting.
But how did this all go down? And where is Delgado Ramos now? Today, if you were to go through Hawarden and see this bar with its red brick exterior, you notice the sign that would call it Paradise Bar. But back in 2006, it was known as El Sol de Jalisco. And this bar is where our story begins. According to Chief DeBrine, that night at the bar, there were 2 different groups drinking. Those with heritage from Nayarit, Mexico, and those from the Mexican state of Jalisco.
One was known as more of a poor farming state, and the other one was more upscale, and they didn't get along, and they had conflicts.
At the bar, an argument ensued between the 2 groups until they both decided to leave and drink elsewhere. Delgado Ramos's group went to a party at the Empire Apartments just north of town. The other group went to 1912 Avenue F, the crime scene. But even after that argument had ended, there were still additional arguments over the phone calls between the other group and Rodolfo's group back and forth until finally one person on the final phone call decided to call Rodolfo out. Rodolfo decided to do something about it.
We had eyewitnesses that saw him leave an apartment with a gun, going down to meet a particular person that was supposed to be at this residence that turned out not even to be the people that were killed.
Shortly before 4:45 a.m., 3 people on a porch on the 1900 block of Avenue F noticed Delgado Ramos walk up with a gun.
They saw the gun in his hand, so they were asking him about that, and that's when Rodolfo shot them.
2 males, Jose Cruz and Alonso Topetti, died of gunshot wounds.
Right there, it was, it was shocking, to hear that.
Laura Cervantes was Alonso's sister. She and her family remember learning of her brother's death through a phone call from his godmother, saying the police called her asking for a picture to identify a body.
You're in denial. You don't want to admit that, that he was still, we want to know, we're hoping he was alive.
Approximately 2 weeks or a month after this occurred, we received a call from the local police department.
Chad McCormick is with the United States Marshals. The Marshals were contacted after Delgado Ramos and his brother Enrique fled Hawarden and began heading south. Their last known location, Mexico.
We're pretty confident that he's still in Mexico.
They've interviewed friends and family members from across the United States and even south of the border, but still no sign of Delgado Ramos.
A lot of people are unsure that both Rodolfo and Enrique are even still alive.
But after roughly a decade of searching, the ultimate goal is to bring justice to the person who committed these crimes.
It's time. It's been 8 or 9 years here, and it's time to bring him back and give the city of Hawarden some comfort.
The families of these 2 young men that were killed are still living in Hawarden, and also the one that was severely injured is still living in Hawarden. So, obviously, we want to bring justice to those as well as to our community.
One day we can hear they got caught and they're paying for it. I know we always say that, if they don't pay here on earth, there is justice. We believe, that God, will take care of them.
If you have any information about Rodolfo Delgado Ramos, please call the U.S. Marshal Service in Sioux City at 712-252-0211 or send marshals an email at siouxlands.mostwanted@usdoj.gov. You can also use the Marshals Text a Tip program. To text a tip, text the keyword TEN, all in uppercase 99, and your tip to tip 411. That's 847-411. Remember, the information you provide remains confidential and could put this fugitive behind bars.